And welcome to my computer. I posted on Substack this morning about the 14 crafts that I want to make this winter, so in the next 3 months. And I just thought it would be fun to talk a little bit more in depth about all of them. I have never made a video like this before, but I've been wanting to dabble with longer form content just to explain kind of my process a little bit more because it doesn't translate necessarily very well to TikTok and all of these short, quippy little videos because I actually sit with a lot of these ideas and think about them for a really long time before I execute on them. Let me dive in. Why not? Let's take you to Notion. I have made a couple of things so far this year, namely just these coasters, which I did post on TikTok this week. They're very cute. I would really recommend. Very cheap, easy, fun little project. But I have a lot of other things in the pipeline, like a lot of like fashion and home. I really want to focus in on making more clothing this year. I've done like some clothing accessory, like hacky sort of things, but I want to experiment more with making things from scratch, in particular garments. I know how to sew reasonably well, but not particularly well. I have a really great sewing machine that was a gift from my mom, and I just want to get a little bit deeper. So these are some maybe more technical projects, but I think they're going to be really fun. I also just like random little home stuff, but I I just wanted to talk a little bit more in depth about all of these. So let's dive on in. The thing that I have already started is this box. So I am intending to make actually a ceramic box. I made like a little, I have the box already, and then I kind of want to glaze it like these tiles. So it's sort of like ambiguous, not ambiguous, what's abstract? It's an abstract die on each side. So I need to do some glaze testing in the studio today. We're going to head over to the studio next. But I did see this absolutely insane, like vintage piece on First Dibs, and I am now in an eBay hole looking at all of these lots of like dominoes and die, etc., etc. So I don't know. I might also I might need to make this. Important context, my husband loves games, so I'm making this for him as a gift for his various die, because they're just kind of floating around in our game cabinet right now. And it's just kind of a theme that I weave into gifts for him because he actually appreciates this as like a concept. He doesn't always get the things that I make. I also have already started this beaded necklace. A very sweet viewer on TikTok asked me about how to make this necklace. It's by Nin Studio. It's totally sold out. So I did this so far. It is very similar to the actual Nin Studio so far. I'm not going to make my final one that similar. I was just kind of experimenting. But yeah, I've picked up a higher quality, thicker bead wire so that I can actually create like the volumes. But I also loved this one by Paloma Wool, and I cannot figure out the original source of this name plate necklace. But yeah, I really like these fun beaded chokers, and we're experimenting with this a little bit. And I have just like an ungodly amount of these clear seed beads. So we're working on that a little bit. I intended to do this one in December for New Year's, actually. That didn't happen. So, next. I'm about to finish my current knit of the year. I'm working on a baby blanket for my soon to be nephew. He's going to be arriving any day now. And I need a new project. I really love ribbing and like ribbing effects in knit. Like that's like a very common thread across all of my projects. And I saw this pattern. It's from like 10 years ago, and I kind of just wanted something a little different, mix it up a little bit. I liked that this was a little funky. It kind of reminds me of Issa Boulder, which are very like sculptural, very much like emphasize like the body, like cool pieces. And I thought that this would be great for spring. So I'm trying to decide what I'm going to knit this in. I did buy the pattern, honestly, y'all. It's just a long scarf that gets wrapped around the body. I could have figured this out without spending $5, but I want to support the artist, and the designer of this has some like really really insane techniques. Very much not like my personal taste, not my personal style. They're like very contemporary, very, again, very structural, very sculptural, but cool. Like at least for the sake of somebody who appreciates interesting technical knitting, this designer, Jen Geisen, has some really, really insane projects. So I think worth a peek. As mentioned, I do want to do some sewing this year, and this is going to be my introductory project. I think this dress is absolutely beautiful. It is a lot of things that I personally like to wear, and it looks relatively easy. So this is one that we're going to be starting with. I don't know what I'm going to fabricate this in either. If I'm going to do this month, I need to get fabric like immediately. I might try and repurpose something, but I just think this, yeah, the Paloma dress by Rosie's Patterns on Etsy is just really elegant and very pretty. And I know for a fact that I will get a good amount of wear in for this. I posted it on TikTok the other day. A very, very generous friend of mine gave me 2 5x4 canvases. I've never painted anything that big in my life. I used to paint a lot growing up. I don't do it so often anymore, but I really want to get back into it a little bit. And yeah, she was like, I don't have space for these. I know that you can fit these on your wall because they're huge. So do you want them? And I was like, yes, absolutely. So I have 2. I'm going to stack them on top of each other in my hallway because like our staircase is really, really, really tall. So I can fit both of them. I'm thinking kind of like this top image of like one abstract sort of landscape and then one just like full color is sort of what I'm thinking in the back of my head. But I'm going to be sketching this out. I also probably won't finish this one in January because this is going to be very daunting. But maybe one of them. Maybe I get one of the canvases done. Fingers crossed. Oh my God, doing this is making me realize just how over the top I'm trying to cram in so many projects. But that's life, baby. This is another one that has actually been like at least 6 or 7 months. I bought the trench coat for this probably like 7 months ago. Is a Margiela piece. This is a common kind of technique, I guess, that I think it even goes back to Martin Margiela's days at Margiela. And so like I can't like trace it back to a specific season. Like it's a theme that comes up throughout. But I did see someone unbox this item and it blew my mind. I thought it was so cool. So I have the jacket, I have the whole cut, like a punch basically, and I just need to do it. This is going to be very time consuming, but I love a good, long, repetitive, time consuming project. So I'm very excited to attempt. And that's January. Again, this is really bold and it's already the 9th. So I don't know if this is all going to happen, but I think it would be really fun and I'm going to try. So let's continue on with my delusions for February. I'm making a much bigger post about this because I do love a good Valentine's Day card, and I think I found some really interesting pieces. Like these top 2 are both like antique Victorian. This is like an actual card, like it's a spiderweb technique that I think is really very charming. And then this is a little booklet. It's like for a chatelaine belt, which is like a belt of functional objects that women would wear in the Victorian era, which I think is very delightful. And I love the idea of a card that is also a cute functional piece, like something that you can reuse. Same with this little card box. Because again, my husband loves cards, so I'm always pulling that out as something cute for him. That would be really cute for a little snack gift. These frames are so cool. In particular, this one with like the eye cut out. I just need tools from my father-in-law and artwork to actually create this with, but I think that this is badass. I think it's really badass. I also love this like slightly hand carved. Like I have some carving tools like this because people just like give me random craft supplies all the time. So I have some wood carving like spoons, the little, what do you call them? It's not an awl, but the little metal scoopy thing. So this one also, again, this is a little repetitive, a little redundant, but I love a mindless craft like that. And so I think that's very, very, very cool. On my sewing journey, I want to attempt a pair of pants. I have fabric for this one actually. I have like all of this red twill that I've never done anything with. A similar color to this, which is my favorite color at the moment. So the pattern is by Jessalicious. I don't actually know her last name, but we're mutuals on TikTok. And I've been wanting to sew this pattern of hers since she came out with it. I think it's really, really, really chic. So that is the plan. A little intimidated by pants, but I think we can do it. I believe in myself. And then the big project of February. I would love to do this month, but again, there's too much going on and I can't do this one solo, and my husband has too much going on too. So in February, we're going to do a big install in our bedroom. We have tall vaulted ceilings and we have no headboard because I hate everything. And so we're going to do this. It's not very often that I get him so on board on an idea, so I have to like really run with it and embrace the fact that he's also excited about this, because I also want him to care about our house. But I think this is going to be really, really, really cool. Another sewing project that I really want to tackle. This was originally in one of my DIY gift guides. It's Sophie Buhai little silk pouch, and I never made it. I told people I was gonna make one. I thought I like researched it. Like I had like a couple of tutorials I had watched. Like I was ready. I just never did it because there's a lot going on. Incredibly sweet woman on TikTok kind of called me out and was like, well, Naomi never made a tutorial for this, so I am going to make a tutorial for this. And her first draft is so stunning. She is going to do so much better of a job with this than I was going to. So I am very excited to follow her tutorial, and I will be. So Amy is knitting on TikTok. She's posting some videos about this, and I will be recreating whatever she does, because her first draft is gorgeous and very thoughtfully designed, it looks like. So I'm very excited to make one of these. Last year I got a ton of, I think like 4 hides off of this like Facebook, like random Facebook marketplace find, was like this lot of like 4 or 5 hides. The woman gave me like an incredible deal on it because she was so excited that I was going to make some stuff with it, but I still have a few rolling around and I really want to try recreating this bag. It's a Portuguese designer. They're handmade, made to order, really, really, really cool. I love this belt concept, so I don't know. I also love the idea of a leather top for spring. This is not like big chest friendly, unfortunately, and I kind of am in that committee right now. So this one I might have to default back to a bag, but I think that this could be very, very, very cool. It's sort of like an olive green leather. So I don't know, but I love this idea of like repurposing a belt. I saw a video of someone trying this vintage gown on, and it blew my mind. I think it's so beautiful, so striking, and I really, really, really wish I could get married in it, but I'm already married, so I can't do that. Instead, I'm gonna turn it into not a wedding dress and wear it to a wedding that we're going to in April. I asked the bride what her thoughts were on like what her dream color palette would be for people to wear to the wedding. She said hydrangea colors, like coastal. It's going to be in Newport, Rhode Island. And so I really love both of these colors. So this is kind of what I'm thinking. We'll see what I can find. I'm going to go on a big, like, actually I need to do a big like supply trip up to LA anyways. So I'm gonna pop up to LA and see what I can find in the fabric district. But either of these I think are also very flattering colors on me. Clearly I love blue. But this is the pattern that I'm starting with, which is a Simplicity Vogue pattern, and I just need to do like a sleeve modification for like the dramatic long sleeve. And then my dream styling vision is to also have gloves that match. So it'll depend on what I end up, like what color fabric I end up getting, but I think a little glove peeking out would be incredibly chic. Wish me luck. If you have advice, I would love to hear it. I probably will attempt doing this in like a cotton or something, just like a practice long before we get to March, because the wedding is in April, but I'm not ready to like dive all the way in. My final March project is this ridiculous fascinator hat by Philip Tracy. I will not be doing a one-to-one, like trying to recreate this exactly. I think I might do a different orchid. I mean, this whole collection is a variety of different orchids, like floral orchids. I just really, really love this one, and very cool because the Met, here, let's follow this link. The Met has a bunch of great photos of this one. So it's helpful to just understand how these are constructed and how it could like fit on a head, which I think is really very handy. So I will probably be referencing this one a lot, but I don't know what shape I'm actually going to be going for. But I did talk about this on my 2026 trend forecast about ridiculous party hats. I don't know if I'll actually start it in March just because I clearly have a lot of other things that I'm hoping and want to accomplish. And it's very springy, so maybe it'll be more around Easter time. And I don't even have like a ridiculous party to wear it to. So I think it's going to be more of like a wall art for my closet or for my like office setup. But I think it's like one of the most beautiful things that I've ever seen. I've always loved Philip Tracy's work. Big fan. Big fan. And that's the vision, guys. I'm gonna lie, there's a lot of other things that I want to make and a lot of things that I'm excited by. So it's gonna be a busy year. I am really excited. I'm feeling really inspired right now, if you can't tell. I do want to experiment more with like these longer form videos because a piece of feedback that I often get on some of my tutorials is that they're way too fast paced. And I hear you. It's hard to make these things work for short form content sometimes because I don't want to put a bunch of work into stuff that doesn't perform, which I know sounds kind of shitty, but some of my videos take a really long time to create, and especially longer form is not something that I'm super like comfortable with, I guess. So it's a little intimidating. I do want to do more of it, but I think that this might be a good home for like longer form tutorials and references. I do always try and share the like videos that I watch when I'm figuring things out, but it would be fun to make some more of my own. So hopefully this is going to be a bit more of an educational space. I don't really know what it's going to look like. I'm kind of just dabbling and figuring this out this year, but I will come back hopefully with a very fun everything that I made this winter post about having finished all of these. Although that's definitely not going to be the case, but we can be delusional together. So let me know what your projects are on your radar and the things that you're excited about making this year. And I can't wait to see all of the incredible creativity